Okay. The Tennessee heat has been insane and the humidity is just something I'm just not used to. So iced coffee first thing in the morning. Our iced coffee is just as simple as putting 2 scoops of coffee grinds in the bottom of a mason jar, filling that jar up with Berkey water, and letting it sit overnight. So that's our cold brew. Then the next morning, I strain that off, and then I pour that coffee over a cup of ice, add in some raw cream, some maple syrup, and maybe even a dash of vanilla. That's the best iced coffee in the world. What are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Today's breakfast is super simple. It's just bagels that I made last night from scratch. It's a super simple bagel recipe that I got from Living Traditions, Kevin and Sarah. I'll link that below. I'm still working on finding an awesome sourdough bagel recipe because that's my jam. But we use Nancy's probiotic cream cheese. I get it from Azure Standard. I order a lot of things from there, mostly spices, a lot of bulk goods, but it's a really great company that delivers locally to you. It's like a co-op. So you sign up with other local families, and there's a drop that usually is nearby your house, and if there isn't one that's nearby or in your area, you can set one up. So I'll leave the Azure Standard link below too. I just really love their products. They offer an amazing selection of products that I can't get local to me. I used to be able to get a lot of them back in California, but I can't get a ton of organic stuff local without driving, so I might as well have Azure drop it off for me. And the prices are really great for the quality. Those bagels aren't the most beautiful bagels in the world because baking them in an RV oven it's difficult. We usually bake them on the grill, but last night it was way too late for me to go in and out. I basically made them at like 11:30 at night so the boys would have them for breakfast before work this morning. I'd give you a quick garden update before we got on with our Tuesday morning. We took down Hattie's little chicken wire fence because she got too smart for us and was charging through it anyways. So it wasn't doing much. I pulled some onions because the cabbage worms were getting them. Hattie helped me pull some, which is why some of them are so small. But we're having major cabbage worm problems, which I guess is typical for our area in this season. They're really getting to the tops of the onions and eating through and then laying eggs in the onion stems. So we just decided to pull the ones that we could see that was happening to so that we could salvage them. Same thing with our cabbages. They're just, I might just pull them this week too because they're just ransacked with cabbage worms. Our tomatoes are all tied up and looking great. We have so many tomatoes, I'm just amazed. But like definitely cabbage worm issues. Or tomato hornworms. My friend Dory sent me some mint in the mail and it's already starting to grow new leaves. I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna have to pull some of this lettuce soon and have a big salad before it all bolts. Our sunflowers are growing. The boys laid down some cardboard for me. We've been saving cardboard for as long as we've been here, so for almost 2 months, and they laid it down for me so I can get some mulch or some straw and then cover the cardboard with mulch and straw. Hopefully I'll get to that today. Maybe not though. A quick water update. Right there. That's our newest tank from some super sweet viewers of ours. That tank holds a little over 300 gallons. So when we fill up that tank at the camp, that night that we fill up, we all take showers at the camp, and that saves on water also. But that tank will then last us all week. So we're super conservative with water, and we can make 300 gallons. It's actually like 325, 350. And we can make that stretch all week long, which is amazing. This probably seems like one of the silliest things in my world right now in the list of things that I have to do, but if I don't make this bed behind me, I feel like a hot mess throughout the rest of the day. Like, it just trickles down through everything I do. So even though my whole world could be a disaster because there's 10 kids running amok everywhere, making this bed makes me feel a little bit more pulled together. So I make the bed. Something that simple and that quick can help me feel like I can conquer the day. Okay guys, you ready for the day? You ready, Hattie? We have a series of things that we just do every day, probably multiple times a day, and one of those things is sweeping our floor, because when you live in the country with a lot of people, especially in a small space like an RV, the floor gets gross. So we sweep probably like 4 or 5 times a day. We wipe down the bathroom every single day. The main bathroom. My bathroom gets wiped down a couple times a week, but the main bathroom gets wiped down every single day. The dishes get done probably 4 times a day. But just to keep our house flowing, we have a workflow that we do, and sweeping, dishes, wiping bathrooms down, and folding laundry, or what we call picking up and putting away. So whatever the girls drag out, we usually pick up and put away probably every 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. That's just how it goes. This weekend I made 2 batches of mozzarella cheese from our farm fresh raw milk, and so right now I'm gonna mix up 2 batches of sourdough pizza crust. Each batch I think makes 2 crusts, so this will be 4 crusts of pizza. I'll leave the link for that in the comments below too if you want that recipe. It's not a true sourdough. You do use a little bit of yeast in it to make it rise, but it's a great discard recipe. While I'm mixing up this pizza dough, it's the perfect time to feed my starter because I'm using it. So I'm gonna feed my starter, which is just a scant 1 cup of flour to half a cup of filtered, like, good water. Berkey water is what we use. Then you just mix it, cover it, and let it grow. I couldn't understand what she was saying, but she keeps saying, scoot it to me, I want a bucket, Mom. She wants me to scoot our little kitchen cart over to the couch so she can stand on the couch and help me mix. Yep. You want up there? Okay, let me move this out of the way. All your guys' leftover bagels. You okay? Okay. I'm gonna transfer this dough ball that Hattie helped me mix up into my mixer with the dough hook, and I'm gonna mix that. I'm gonna knead that up for a little bit. And then I'm gonna transfer it back into the bowl. A cow, okay. A cow. And then I'm gonna transfer it back into a greased bowl and let it sit for about 4 hours. So until about dinner time, when I start to get the pizzas ready. That's it. That's all I'm doing for today in the kitchen, hopefully. The kids are gonna make sandwiches for lunch and dinner will already be ready. Trash? Does anybody else have a coffee and Epic Bar stealing toddler? I do. My phone. She dropped my phone. The boys and Brandon surprise me with Epic Bars every once in a while because they know I don't eat nearly as much as I should. I feed everybody else and forget to eat myself. But the thing is, this little thing steals my iced coffee and my Epic Bars every chance she gets. What are you eating? You're eating my bar? Also, a common occurrence in our house is the tipping of the Berkey. If you have a Berkey, you know that there's always a little bit of water left in the bottom that can't get to the spout, so you see this often. The rule around here is the Berkey tipper is the Berkey filler. So if you got caught tipping the Berkey, you have to fill it. We're getting tidied out here. Part of the deal today was that the kids had to help me clean up camp, which is what we call home because we live in a camper. So if we let things go, especially over a holiday weekend when we don't want to push the kids too hard, things can get messy super fast. We have 10 kids and we live in the woods. So things get messy, toys get left around, and we don't have trash service, so our bags of trash just kind of hang out by the RV. So we're just tidying up, and the kids are wiping down all of the outdoor tables, scrubbing out the chicken buckets, and doing a quick load of laundry in our little washer because there's just some gungy stuff that has been sitting around here. In the humidity, things get mildewy and moldy really quickly, so if you leave any wet towel or wet thing out for any amount of time, it gets gross. So another reason why I'm super thankful for that little tiny washer is we can wash things before they get super gross. So we're just tidying up. Brandon and the boys cut down more trees last week, so we need to drag those off. Little by little, we are cutting through and opening up the space between our two tracks, our two lots, so that we can see how much flat space we have, or relatively flat space we have. And then hopefully this week, Brandon's boss is gonna bring the gooseneck trailer over and help us get this bad boy taken to the mechanic. It's been out of commission for almost 2 months now. Bummer, right? So we're gonna get that taken to the mechanic and hopefully get whatever's wrong with it fixed and move our RV from the hill that we're sitting on. We're parked kind of downhill, and we did that on purpose when we parked it here because I wanted to hide behind the trees. But now that I've been here for 2 months, I want to be out in the open. I want to move the RV up there by the water tanks where it's more level and closer to our chert road, because when it rains, and it rains a lot in the summer, when it rains we can't even get the van down here. So if we can move closer to the road, then it'll be easier for me to get the kids in to and from the van without getting the van stuck in the mud. So yeah, big plans this week. Moving the RV, getting the truck fixed, hauling trees, clearing away. Lots of big things to do this week. I got the big kids, well actually they're the middle kids. The big kids are at work with Dad. But I got the big kids, big middles, outside weeding for me. We're gonna negotiate the terms of payment after. They're weeding the watermelons now, and they're gonna help me with these carrots next, because I just can't do it all, y'all. I just can't do it all. The 3 littles keep me on my toes. They keep me busy, always needing stuff, or just needing me, needing to nurse, whatever it may be. So if I can get these guys to help me weed, even if I have to pay them, that is worth its weight in gold for me, because I just can't do it all. I just can't. As much as I'd love to, I just can't. Hi! Silly guy. His nosy. Alright guys, we're gonna go check on the big kids and see how far they got with their weeding. Okay guys, there's a little bit more here on this row, and then just collect your piles and go feed them to the chickens. Yep. Good job. Now, the boys are on their way home from work. They're almost home from work. So I am going to head inside and start making those pizzas. Super grateful for those kids of mine. It's nice to have those helpers. VeggieTales. How I get the things done. The pizza dough looks good. I have to use both hands to get that rolled out. There you are. I have to use both hands to get that rolled out and fire up the grill so we can bake it on the grill. But I'm gonna get busy with dinner, and I will see you guys on the next one.